We had a relatively good year with not too much excitement having taken place, and for that we are grateful. In January, the weather was a theme for conversation with colder than expected temperatures and foggy mornings. Skype promoted its group video calling, and we took advantage of the 1 week free access to the new program. It was a lot of fun. In February, Rosita and Ove flew to Maryland as the official babysitters for Ryan and Jillian, while Mom and Dad flew to Fort Walton Beach, Florida for Shirley, Kelly's mom's 60th birthday celebration. Lola, Inigo and Blanca visited with us for a taste of South Florida before returning home to Spain at the end of this year. Granddaughter Sierra and her friend Tessa flew into Fort Lauderdale from Toronto to spend their spring break with us in Weston. In April, Rosita and Ove flew to Peru, where they spent 3 weeks visiting with cousin Ana Maria, her husband Juan, and son Giancarlo in Tacna, sister Isabel and her husband Jaime in Arequipa, and niece Veronica, her husband Mauricio, and their daughter Belen in Lima. In Lima, they had the opportunity to visit with friends and relatives while enjoying the delicious Peruvian food. In May, sister Isabel, her daughter Veronica, and granddaughter Belen flew in from Lima for Mother's Day celebration. On June 6, brother-in-law Pepe celebrated his 60th birthday, and 2 days later, Rosita, Ove, sister Isabel, and her husband Jaime flew to Europe for a Viking river cruise on the Elbe River from Magdeburg in Germany to Litoměřice in Czech Republic, with a pre-cruise stay in Berlin and Potsdam and a post-cruise stay in Prague. They then flew to Denmark for a 5-day visit before boarding the Costa Luminosa cruise ship to visit the famous Norwegian fjords. Isabel and Jaime flew back to Peru via Miami on July 2nd, and Rosita and Ove stayed in Denmark for another week to visit Ove's relatives in Jutland. In August, granddaughter Jillian flew in from Maryland to spend the last week of her summer vacation with Nonna Rosita and Bestefar Ove. Cousin Mariela and her son Juan Carlos flew in from Lima for 10 days. Rosita's mom turned 97 years young, and Sister Isabel flew in from Lima, son Charlie from Maryland, and nephew Jaime and his son Jaime Christopher from Boston. Rosita Mercedes' 97th birthday celebration was great, with the attendance of her 3 daughters, 3 of her 4 grandchildren, and 2 of her 4 great-grandchildren. In September, Rosita and Ove decided to stay home due to the hurricane predictions. They are thankful that the predictions did not come to pass, which meant that Ove did not have to put up the hurricane panels. In October, Sister Isabel and her granddaughter Belen flew in from Lima for Sister Marcela's 60th birthday celebration. Then Rosita and Ove flew to Las Vegas to celebrate the 39th wedding anniversary, and they also drove to Arizona to visit the Hoover Dam and Grand Canyon National Park. In November, Sister Marcela, her husband Pepe, and son Javier flew to Lima for 2 weeks, and Rosita moved to Kendall to stay with her mother through December 4th. Rosita and Ove will stay home for the holidays.